There was a day I spent 8 hours thinking about whether I should say yes to a trip with the random strangers that I was supposed to go. And believe me, I imagined every possible thing that could go wrong in this trip. The money, what if they don't like me, the timing, the vibe of the group. I was thinking to myself, I'm a little older to them, whether they like my vibe. They're all in their early 20s. I'm in my early 30s. Whether they like me, they like my vibe. What if we don't gel together? What if I'll be alone throughout the trip for 10 days? Will I be able to cope up? If not all of this, then I was also thinking about the weather, the outfits, whatever outfits I'm going to wear, whether it's going to match their vibe. What if they judge me? What if this? What if that? Should I not? And guess what? That night, I wasn't able to decide whether I should say yes or no. And I slept feeling overexhausted. And again, the next 2 days, I spent overthinking whether I should say yes or no. And that is when I realized that this isn't just normal thinking that I'm doing. This is the overthinking that I am doing and spending hours and days together without even realizing that how much of my energy is consumed by the stupid thought. And today we are going to talk about it. So let's start with the part one. What is overthinking and why you don't realize you're doing it? Let's begin honestly. More of us don't even realize we're overthinking. We think we are just being careful or prepared or thorough with the situation and prepared for the worst case scenarios that we are dealing with. But there's actually a difference between thinking something regularly through and thinking yourself out of living. Overthinking is nothing but it's the way your brain is trying to predict every possible outcome that's going to be harmful to you or that's going to be risky for you so that it can keep you safe. But instead of feeling safe or, you feel like you have been protected, you end up feeling stuck in your life. And here's what that looked for me 2 years back. 2 years ago, I really wanted to start my YouTube channel and I had this idea to inspire, inform, and entertain every possible people out there with all the travel, mindset, and self-love topics that I've actually learned over the years of my life so that I can share it as an experience through my videos. But when I actually shot the videos and I was halfway through editing, like I almost completed 60% of my video, the overthinking stepped in my life and it started questioning me. You're not even famous. How can you even post this video? What if people don't like you? What if you don't get enough subscribers? What if you don't start monetizing? What if your content is so boring and not entertaining? This and that. And I finally just ended up giving up on starting my YouTube channel 2 years back. And all those videos that I actually spoke and worked on, it's still lying in my save folder in my laptop. And I just gave up on the idea of starting YouTube channel. So the question over here is, why do we even do this? Which brings me to the part two of this topic. Why do we overthink and how it shows up differently for all of us in our daily life? Here's the thing. Overthinking is not just about being thoughtful or thinking through the situation. I feel it's about being afraid of making a mistake, of being judged, of losing control, or of simply having to choose between two options in order to make the biggest life decision that you have to make. Let me walk you through the 4 different reasons why we often feel stuck in our head. Reason number one, fear of failure. This one is really deep rooted. When you're actually scared to fail, your brain creates all of these 100 different imaginary hurdles in your mind, like creating a different mind movies where you're failing again and again. You recreate the scenes of how you're going to fail. So you stay in that loop of thinking phase forever because acting feels risky and thinking feels much more safer than taking that action step. And that's where the thinking loop begins. If I were to take an example under this reason, it could be something that you are working in a company and there is a project that you really want to work upon, but you feel little underskilled. But you also have confidence in yourself that with the right kind of knowledge and guidance, you really can crack the project and make the best out of it. But then your overthinking steps in and starts questioning you. What if they reject me? What if I mess it up and people start making fun of me? I might look like a fool. What if everyone sees it? What if I can't handle and I fail to crack the project? These are the questions your mind keeps throwing at you. And then you fail to even approach to your manager and talk about the project that you really want to or eyeing on to work so that you can upskill yourself. You don't take action in this because you're scared to fail in your life. Second reason is fear of judgment. This is one of the biggest reason I think each and every one of us face in our life and end up overthinking a lot about. A classic example could be something like we are going on an event and we bought this new dress that we have never worn, but we really want to wear it. And as you wear it, the overthinking steps in and it starts questioning, what if I look really fat in this? Am I really looking sexy? What if I come across as a wannabe? What if I sound dumb when I'm talking about my job? Or what if I laugh like a fool unconsciously? This kind of question that keeps coming in our mind every time we dress up in a different way which we don't usually do in our regular times. Even before somebody else out there judges you, you judge yourself first in such a harsh way and put yourself down in such a unpleasing way. That's fear of judgment. And this doesn't happen in just while dressing up. It probably can be when you're looking very confident or when you're talking on the stage. It could be anything in your day-to-day life routine. Suppose you're in the gym also and you're trying to lift some heavy weights that you've never done before and you probably fail at it once or twice. And then you start thinking that what if they think that I am trying to show off? What if they think that this guy or girl doesn't even know how to lift weight and she's trying still? Your mind keeps throwing these stupid questions about yourself, which actually people are not even thinking about because they're too busy living their own life. The third reason is the need for control. Sometimes we overthink a situation or circumstance in our life so much that we want to control each and every detail that's happening in and around us. So suppose for an example, you want to book a trip, probably a luxury trip to some different country. You have 30 tabs open in your laptop, watching a YouTube video, reading a blog, checking the weather details, checking the flight tracking details, all of these things. And you're trying to constantly analyzing each and every situation. Like say, suppose if you're going from this spirit to this spirit, it's going to be cloudy and little sunny, but what if it rains? And what if I don't enjoy my trip? You start questioning these kind of things in your mind. But what you're actually doing is not planning your trip. You're trying to take control of each and every variable that could go wrong in your trip. And this was making you overthink because you were losing control in your life of planning a trip and enjoying the trip just the way you want it to happen. And the fourth reason is perfectionism. This one really shows up hard. At least I've had my fair and share time under this kind of overthinking. I still face this kind of overthinking in my life. A classic example for this could be that, you are a creator, you want to post reels and carousels or whatever. You want to go live on your social media platform. And every time you do that, you probably would have shot your video, you have edited it, you have put across the best of the best things that you know and you experience, and you're giving the raw information out there. But every time you post, your mind steps in into overthinking, asking whether people will like it, will they share and save it? What if it's not good? What if it's boring? What if it's not up to the mark? And what if it's not matching the trend? Blah, blah, blah. By the time you're done with overthinking, the moment of inspiration has already passed and you end up not posting because perfectionism convinces you that if it's not perfect, then it's not worth sharing or posting at all. Right. But one thing you're not realizing is that all of these thoughts are leading you to mental chaos and exhaustion. And this is the kind of a noise that's there in your head that won't shut up unless you are aware that this is happening to you and you take aligned action to stop that and actually overcome that overthinking that you're facing in your life. Which brings me to the next part of the topic, which is how to recognize your overthinking. So under this part, I have categorized under different areas of your life how overthinking can look like in relationship, in career, in money and finances, in your health. Probably all of these things we face day to day in our life, but it is just that we need to recognize that we're actually overthinking and not doing the normal thinking and then take action going forward. Starting with the relationship. A classic example for this could be something like you're talking to someone, probably a new potential love interest or someone you just met during your travels and you're really interested to know more about him, or he's also interested to know more about you. They say, let's catch up next time, and you smile and you nod, and then you come back home, start overthinking that, did he really mean what he say, let's catch up next time? Was he really interested in me? Why didn't he text me back yet? Should I text first? Will I look desperate if I start texting first? And this one is hilarious. We actually start going into that scene mentally in our past, and we imagine how did he even ask, let's catch up next time, and how you even nodded and smiled, and then you overthink, did I overdo? Did I come across as a fool? Did I look a little dumb? You replay each and every detail that happened in that moment. This is not bonding. This is the overthinking that you're doing. Second area in career, it could look something like you delay taking action because you are scared if it won't be good enough. A classic example in the career section could be something that your friend comes up to you and tells that there is an opening in her company and that is your dream company that you really wanted to work upon. Because you give it such an importance in your life that you put yourself down, you start refining your resume again and again, probably redo it 15 or 17 times, each and every word by word. And then you feel underconfident. You ask yourself that, am I even deserving to apply for this job? This is my dream company. Not everyone can get inside this. What if I'm not enough for this job role? What if they ask me some questions and I don't know to answer it? And if I say no, what if I get rejected? These kind of questions make you not take action and you end up not even sending your resume to the company and you will lose your opportunity to working in your dream company. Next is the overthinking in finances. This is a classic example that that I could think of is, you save a little amount of money out of the salary in a different account and you tell to yourself that this I'm going to use and splurge it on probably a wellness trip or a luxurious trip that you are actually wanting to take. But the moment you sit to book and plan the entire trip, you start questioning to yourself, what if this is a waste of money? Am I really wasting my money on this? Should I save a little more? What if I don't vibe with the people I go there? And what if I don't really like this luxurious trip? And what if I feel bored? You see, right there, you're doing overthinking. You question every rupee you have saved and spent, and you overthink to yourself whether I'm being too stingy or whether I'm going to splurge all of this money that I took so long to save it. And then you tell it to yourself, it's fine, let's save it for the next time. And then you end up not booking that wellness trip, which you are actually wanting to experience. I don't know for how long. The overthinking in health and body image could look something like you wake up feeling bloated. You cancel all your plans and stare in front of the mirror at yourself, comparing all the photos from the last week and probably even admire the model that you're actually wanting to have a body like. You have your visionary image that you want to look like this. And then you start Googling that foods that reduce face puffiness, best workouts for bloating, what should I eat to become more fit and healthy. Then you actually start planning a perfect workout routine and diet in your notes app on your phone, and then you don't follow it. And you end up eating more food, you end up feeling more bloated and puffed in your body, and then you say to yourself, it's fine, I'm going to start next week. And the last one is when you're about to make the big decisions in your life. This often happens to me even now. Like just the other day, this happened to me, and I realized that I am just thinking and thinking and not taking action in this particular area of my life because I just was overthinking for about a week or so, and I didn't even realize that I was overthinking. Say, suppose you have a situation in your life and you talk to five different people. It could be your mom, dad, sisters, best friends, anybody. You make a pro and con list of the situation that if I do this, these are the pros that I'm going to have, these are the cons that I'm going to have. You journal it out, saying that this is the thing that is happening in my life, this and that. But irrespective of doing all of these things, taking 100 different opinions from other people, you still don't take action. You still don't choose what you really want to do, whether it is yes or no. Should I do it or should I not do it? You are in just that constant thinking loop of asking everybody else, asking yourself whether I should do it or not do it, whether it's going to be okay or not okay. That loop is going to be there forever. And result of this is you're going to stay there where you are forever in your life because uncertainty feels safer than taking risk, right? And if all of this feels familiar to you, then that's overthinking. Now that we have learned how to identify if you are actually overthinking or doing a regular thinking, let's move on to the part 4 of the topic, which is practical tools to stop overthinking. Let me share with you a few of the tools that are genuinely worked for me and helped me come out of this constant negative loop of overthinking. There are few of the tools which I choose depending on the situation and depending on what I feel like doing. Feel free to choose whatever you want to try with and pick whatever works for you. Tool number 1 is a thought dump. What you do in this kind of tool is that you set a 15 minutes timer on your phone, sit with a notebook and write each and every detail of your problem, your situation, your dialogues that is constantly running in your mind. Even if you want to cuss at people or even if you want to yell at yourself, criticize yourself or criticize at the situation, criticize at each and every person that you can think of, just let all of it out on your book and don't judge yourself while you're doing it. There is no structure to follow in this. There is no filter needed when you're writing it. This is just to dump all those negative thoughts that has been eating up your space and not letting you breathe a fresh air. This is when you do it. You just open your notebook and just keep writing for 15 minutes. Once the 15 minutes is done, you stop writing and you let go of it. This actually feels much better than you even think of it. You will realize that after you finish writing, you just take that deep sigh, like this is the kind of feeling that you get after you do this 15 minutes dump thought. The second tool is the imperfect action rule. I'm sure you would have all done this as you were kids or younger. Every time you think of a situation that you're stuck, whether you should do it or you should not do it, whether you should go for it or you should not go for it, I'm sure one of your friends would have come up to you and like, hey, let's flip a coin, or I'll give you 2 fingers, just choose one of it, and then you realize what you actually want to do. This is what this tool is basically about. You flip a coin or you choose a finger and take action any which way. Make the call, apply for that job or go for that walk. Take that action any which way, even if it is imperfect, because the bottom line of this tool is just to take action. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be done. Have you realized that oftentimes you only think up until you take action? Once you take action, you just let go of the entire situation. There is no overthinking at all. So the whole idea and purpose of the tool is for you to take that imperfect action so that you're not in the loop of overthinking. Tool number 3 is one of my favorite, which is mind map drawing. Under this, you draw like an algorithm kind of a thing on your page. You write the situation or problem that you are overthinking about, and then you draw 2 lines asking, is there a solution to this situation? Yes, no. If no, can I let go of the situation right now? If yes, then what are my options right now? Option A, option B. Option B, can I do it right now? Yes, no. Option A, can I do right now? Yes, no. Wherever it is no, let go of the situation right now. Wherever it is yes, take action so that you feel like you've done something about the situation. Like I said, most of the times, once you start taking action about the situation actually feels lighter and it is not even as big as you thought in the first place. The fourth tool is conscious distraction. I'm sure most of you all do it oftentimes in your life. Every time you feel sad or every time you feel heavy in your mind, in your heart, you turn on to Netflix, you go on for random long drives, or you listen to your favorite songs. This helps you numb that emotion for that particular point in time. So this is what I recommend you to do if at all you feel the situation is too heavy and you're not able to decide what you really want to do. So go for a jog, watch a comedy show, or watch your favorite comfort drama series, dance to your favorite song, or clean your cupboard. Because I feel sometimes your brain needs a reset, not a fix. And don't underestimate the power of moving your body in order to quiet your mind. Tool number 5 is visualize the best case scenarios. Our mind is often made to think in a negative way and create 15 different scenarios of the same situation so that you are prepared to take action and keep yourself safe, right? So every time you think of a negative situation, this is just a shift of mindset, asking yourself, what if everything goes right? What if best of the best things happen to me? And start visualizing the good things that's going to happen. If at all you take that action, what could be the good things that can happen? What are the possibilities of positive results that you're going to get out of taking that action? Just hold that picture of positivity or hold that picture of going everything good as per however you want for about 30 or 60 seconds and you will feel so good. That's the nervous system rewiring in real time. And that's the end of this video. In order to conclude the entire topic about overthinking, I want to say this to you that overthinking isn't just who you are, or it doesn't define you as a person, or it doesn't build your personality. It's just a habit of your brain that has been picked up over the years of practice in order to keep you safe from harmful situation or risk that could trigger you. And the best part is, just like any other habit, overthinking also can be unlearned, rewired, and healed. And if you felt seen in this video, let me know in the comment section what's something that you've been overthinking lately and you really want to let go of. And if at all this video really helped you, especially the tools to overcome your overthinking, share this video to one friend who really needs it right away. Because we are all learning, we're all growing, and let's not let our thoughts stop us from living. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you want more real talk videos like this. See you on next Sunday. Until then, I'm Maitri Naik signing off. Bye.